Someone somewhere once said, all virtues are credible until the time they are tested. Team Liquid will be facing their toughest test yet, a best of 3 against Luminosity, to see who goes to the final. So we are just a few minutes in, a few seconds into the first map of this best of 3. What did you think of the veto threat?
I'm very surprised that Luminosity didn't pick Overpass or Train. Luminosity almost lost to Mouse Sports on Mirage in the group stage. So if Liquid wants to win this match, I think they have to win Mirage and Cash, because on Cash I actually think they have a fighting chance. It's going to be really difficult if it goes to a third map cobble.
I mean, for me, I'm starting to be, I'm there with Yanko, coming from Europe. I'm looking at this, Luminosity. On paper, this is definitely the better team, but right now I'm feeling the energy in the room, and I think Liquid are as well. So this is going to be such a crowd pleaser. This is going to be amazing, this kickoff. But as far as the sides go, we're going to have Liquid starting off on the CT side, Luminosity starting off on the T side of Mirage, which is map 1. How do you think that's going to pan out, Threat? Who do you think goes into this with an advantage?
I actually prefer to start on the T side when it's the first match of the day, because you can easily force the cities to so many ecos, and on the pistol round it's very hard to get those crisp headshots with the USP. So Liquid needs to win the pistol round and get a good economy going. Otherwise, I think Luminosity will run away with this map.
Is there anything you think? What do you think is going to be the biggest difficulty here for Liquid, having played against Luminosity?
I think it's going to be the strategic part. Team Liquid have a lot of great individual players. They have Simple, they have Hiko, and Adren has been stepping out like immensely in this tournament. So if they just have some good executes on the T side, they will have a fighting chance to take this map.
All right, it's game time. Columbus, make some noise in this bitch! Luminosity will be starting on the T side of Mirage, so Liquid are going to be up against the test straight away. 2 defuse kits coming out for the American side. Simple and Adren will be carrying those. Elige with a smoke, which he's throwing out straight away. Hiko and Nitro going to be on the Kevlar.
So already looks like Luminosity will be setting off to just get a fast play into the A-bomb site. No passive play, just straight in there, straight in the face of the Liquid players. A lot of people are going to be running out of Palace as well. I wonder if Elige, who's in the shadow position, is going to be able to do some damage here. He's also got some support from Nitro at CT spawn. It's a double kill here as well, but here goes the push. Luminosity getting in there, and now lots of frags just being traded at the moment. Actually only 1 player down, and the smokes are going to be up there to really stop this this retake from going as planned for Liquid. But look at this, trying to push CT spawn, and the FNX is going to pull it off with 2 frags, leaving everything on the shoulders of Adren. But see you later, Adren. Now on Hiko, the clutch master of the team. Thur has something to say about that.
A great attempt there by Team Liquid. They had the perfect answer for Luminosity's push. They backed down in CT spawn. Unfortunately, Luminosity just got the frags when they pushed down in CT spawn, and that's where they lost round.
Nice open plant from Luminosity as well, going to triple rather than the default. So very solid pistol rounds, and Liquid off on the wrong foot, you might say. You can see they've opted for 3 HEs. We've seen this before in this tournament. We'll see if they manage to make good use of them. We saw, I think it was Liquid actually, who had double HEs, or maybe were on the receiving end of them on Cash. But here we go. We've got 3 men coming through the connector area. That smoke is going to cause some problems for both teams here. Fur closing the distance, but he's going to get 1 tap from Elige here, looking for more kills, but Simple's gone down as well. It is an eco for Liquid, 3 men still alive here, so perhaps they can get the map 10. That Fur drops a bit later on. Elige is still holding that connector. More things from him, but he's going to get taken down by FNX. Just 2 Liquid players remaining. Hiko's taken down 2 though, so Fallen and Cold, last man standing. The bomb is coming up the slope, and he has the range on Hiko, who doesn't have any weapons yet, so Hiko's going to have to pull out a massive clutch in order to keep this for his team. Fallen's got no cover, and he's going to go down straight away. Now it's Cold 0. He hasn't got the range of the Mac 10. This could really go either way. The armor penetration from P250. He's got MP7 as well. Instant thing from Hiko. Is he actually going to do this? Cold 0's got less than 10 HP. There's still a minute, but he's going to dodge. Hiko's going to do it. Liquid back in the game.
Where are these headshots coming from? This guy, how on earth did he do that?
Amazing play.
He doesn't even believe it.
Yeah, amazing play by Hiko, but I have to point out the mistake there by Falling. Why did he go for the plant when Cold was in the middle? He planted towards C to spawn.
Perhaps nerves. I mean, this crowd, there are two elements to this crowd. One is obviously the pressure that Cold and Co are going to be feeling, but also the pressure on Liquid. But also, if things go the way of the Liquid that we saw yesterday, Simple might get a bit too excited. So there's so many factors purely to this crowd. We will see how it goes. 1-1 Liquid with the guns now. We have the force back coming up from Luminosity, and FNX is moving very close to the connector indeed.
Oh, we're looking for the shot! What? FNX really sick one dig there over by the ticket booth, and now Liquid, the pressure's back on them again. They have to scramble to reposition here. They can feel the presence coming in. FNX once again with a deagle. This guy's going nuts at the moment, and Taco's getting in there as well. But how is this happening? Luminosity turning the tables on Liquid, who had a way better buy. Just getting in there with the UMP, but falling straight back as well with the frag. But Hiko once again, all rests on his shoulders. HE into the side, but he's going to find no target. There's the face, and Fur is going to close it down 2-1, and Luminosity just bounce back immediately.
A very simple ace split there from Luminosity, and FNX just winning that round by himself, getting 2 entry kills there with that deagle, and he's been playing out of his mind this tournament. I think he dropped a 30 bomb versus us in the group stage. So yeah, he's going to be a big factor in this Mirage game.
How is it he can just walk into Connector and just 1-dig people? Why doesn't that happen to me?
I don't know, it's just ridiculous, right?
Well, this time we've got 4 HEs coming in from the Liquid side. Normally you can often see force buy after force buy in a situation, but it seems Liquid going to be a little more passive. Where are these HEs going though? There's one top mid. There are 2 players top mid for the Ts as well, but they're going to try and slow things down here. Previously, after the pistol, they were moving really fast towards Connector. Fur has come from the underpass this time, so a little bit of a difference. We can see that the numbers for Liquid are stacked over towards the A sites at the moment. It's minute 30 on the clock. Just one Molotov on the Luminosity game inside. And Fur again, he's going to be the man to sack with the MP7. So 6 HP, he won't mind taking down 2 players. And Luminosity may read that there is a stack over towards the A-bomb site. You can see Taco trying to do a bit of harassment from Palace as well. Simple rotating. So Liquid putting all their chips on the A-bomb sites at the moment. But the bomb itself might start to move over towards B.
Yeah, not too much for Luminosity to do, but just take it slow at the moment. And you can see they're getting a lot of information as well. And the creep B-Apps is definitely a very good choice. And they've got a player by short as well in the window room. So things are looking pretty solid here for Luminosity. Taco trying to confirm what's going on this bomb site as his teammates creep towards. And once he spots a couple players, then they're going to know that the B-bomb site is open for the taking. Pretty good play here from Luminosity. Discipline. And there you go, they'll find that the B site is indeed empty. And Taco's actually going to pick up a kill here. He's going to be challenged and get things, and that's a quick tag there for Hiko, so he's going to be able to steal away a Galil. But Luminosity, pulling off a pretty nice anti-force buy round in this one.
Yeah, and I kind of feel bad for Liquid. They have had really good decision making this half. On the pistol round, they went down towards C spawn. They didn't overcommit. On the round where FNX got those 2 deagle kills, they didn't overcommit in middle. But they're just getting out-aimed at this point.
Well, Nitro is in a good position to save this Galil, as the Ts aren't going to overextend. Fur and Cold are quite heavily tagged, and the other 2 won't want to give up their rifles in the hunt, it seems. So we'll see if Nitro can do anything with this in the next round. There's not much money on the rest of the team at the moment. They're going to be between 2,000 to 3.5, so should be another good round for Luminosity. Fur continues with the Mach 10 from the previous round, so we can expect him to do more information finding for his team. They will be wary of that one Galil. We'll see if Nitro opts to buy any Kevlar. Indeed he will. Pick up some Kevlar with it. He had a bit more money in the bank than some of his team. But the main buy will come in the next round for Liquid. So Nitro's bought a smoke and a flash as well. Hiko's got the 5-7, and we know he is super strong. Seen many highlight clips on maps such as Cash, where he plays those close corners. And he's already been clutching straight away for Liquid, which is a good sign for the future. So it seems that Luminosity are going to speed things up on this occasion. It's a very fast B split, perhaps having a read on Liquid going to stack A once again. But Simple is on the hunt.
Yeah, not too much to work with here for Team Liquid in this round as expected, just managing their economy. Of course, though, Nitro did steal away, or rather Hiko was able to get the kill on the Galil player. Nitro has that now, so perhaps Liquid can get a lot of damage in. Get those frags on the exits. They are starting to wander around middle, and looks like Simple's going to push Fallen away from the B-Apps at the moment. Looks like Cole is going to be able to take down Hiko and Adren, so Liquid not able to get too much from this round so far, but there is still an Unleash, still a Simple. He's going to pick up a frag. There's the trade coming in. But what can Simple get done? No Kevlar. Got a CZ. Going to spot the frag onto Cole. Can he claim the weapon? That's the question. We all know what Simple can do with more or less anything. He's going to find that M4, and there could be some players facing it. There's two at once. What is Simple going to do here? He's going to keep facing, and that's it. Fallen's going to pick him up the sky, and looks like we'll go to 4 rounds now for Luminosity, 1 for Liquid, but Liquid can finally field a buy. What should they be doing with this hit?
Yeah, this is actually the first real weapon round of the game. 5 rounds into the match. It always becomes awkward when you win back and forth there in the beginning with the 4 spies, but finally we can see an AWP here on Adren and a lot of nades on the rest of Team Liquid.
And no Kevlar on Adren though, so he will be running around naked in the nude. Let's see if Luminosity can just break Liquid once again, or if Liquid can fight back with these weapons. Actually going for an aggressive mid-take. Cold Zero is going to find himself under quite a bit of pressure here. The aggressive incendiary. Now can he get out of there? The smoke is going to help that. And here comes the cavalry from the underpass. Simple with the frag onto FNX. Burt is trying to spray madly, but Simple picking up another one. He's going to get support here. Absolute madness in middle. Burt pulling out the Glock. Still can't find the frag. What is going on? Simple jumps straight through the window, and Fur is going to finish him off, but it is still a 4 versus 3 in favor of Liquid.
Why did Simple overcommit in that battle? He got 2 entry kills. He could have just fall back to the A site and just would have won the round 100%, but instead he went for the jumping USP.
Nitro is standing top mid behind the smoke that entire time, and the numbers continue to dwindle on the Liquid side. Things evened up now, 3 for 3. Fur has not got much HP, so his HP is going to be paper thin at the moment. We'll see if the Luminosity side can get a plant. The bomb still needs to go towards default, where Elijah is holding. Down goes the bomb. And now we have only 1 player on the site, and that's Fallen with an AWP. He is susceptible to being traded here. Fur is coming in quickly in T-Slope, but again, he's only got 7 HP, and there he goes. Completely dispatched by Hiko. It's Fallen versus 3 now. He can try to do as much damage as possible to the CT side, but he won't do any more damage. And I think Liquid, I mean, that really could have gone either way. Nitro was standing behind the smoke top mid, while 2 of his teammates fought somebody underneath the window for what seemed like an eternity.
Yeah, Nitro could have just turned around, jumped onto the ledge, and just killed further in the back. Here we can see it once again. Simple getting those 2 entry kills. And we can see Nitro there up catwalk, close to the ledge. I don't know what he's doing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Period. But that's the charm of Simple right now, is that this guy is just incredulous to watch, because you have no idea what's going to happen when you're in his point of view. But into the next round, Liquid stringing 1 fight together. Oh, bit of an attack there from Adren. Oh, the challenge coming in. Adren will escape though with 22 points of health, as the mid will be taken up by the Luminosity side. Fur is going to be challenging towards Connector as well. And you can see Adren very passive now, having to give up that position. And Luminosity are going to know this, and they're going to start to abuse it. You can see Fur and Connector. Taco is in the Palace. Perhaps together they can make a play here onto the A bomb site. We'll have to see how it's going to pan out here. But these positions are very forward for Luminosity, and I would be worried if I was Liquid.
The smoke went down in CPL, just been resmoked as well by the T's. Adren and Elige instantly exchange places, so Adren is on toll booth now, looking into Connector. So if Luminosity opt for the split towards A, then they could be in trouble. Taco's in Palace, the bomb is still top mid. FNX has been harassing B. He's currently playing a passive
Liquid needs
position.
to take some ground back here towards Connector.
Yeah, I think Nitro is playing close A slope, so they've opted to try and get real estate elsewhere. But again, Fur is just waiting and waiting, but Elijah is the one who's going to be taken down in that with Fallen on short, so he could suggest that there's going to be a B split. So they're going to sack the AWP here and put the rest of the team over towards the A bomb site. Nitro's getting more aggressive now, but it's only him and Adren left.
Fallen. Will he spawn anybody? It looks like Hiko's going to take down Fallen, but FNX on the other side of the map. I mean, he's going to get the kill, but they spotted the bomb now. But will it matter? Adren is out of the picture. He's been taken down by Taco. And now it's Hiko and Simple against the world. And we'll have to see if they can actually do something in this position. It's going to be a very tough one. Still, an amount of grenades on Fur. A smoke, a couple of flashbangs. The bomb is down. There's 4 players with plenty of time for the post-plant. So with all of that information, Liquid, they're going to go for the save. Keep the rifles alive if they can. And Simple, he's got a kit, full Kevlar, a couple of flashes with the AWP as well. So definitely a lot of value there to save.
I'm very surprised Liquid went for that gamble, having 2 guys deep onto that B side, boosting Simple. Simple can't gain any information from that position, and I mean, they're probably going to be able to save their weapons this round, but they just gave up middle way too easily there. And when you stack 2 people towards the B side, you're almost giving up the A side, because the rotation times is so long when you're standing on the actual side.
Right, so I mean, how do you feel about the early round play though? Otherwise it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to contest middle in the beginning. The only thing I disliked was that he didn't try to take it back once Luminosity gained connector control.
Well, the money is pretty bad on the Liquid side at the moment. This will definitely be an eco from the players around the AWP and the M4. Never mind, that simple drop to FAMAS actually. So let's see if a buy is going to come in here from Liquid. Indeed, they are going for what seems to be a full force. Hiko's going to leave, no, he's going with all the nades and so on. So they've got 2 FAMASs and M4, the AWP onto Simple now, so they're going to need a bit of explosiveness. But even with the force, they've gone to stack the A bomb site. But there's nobody there for Luminosity. Let's see if Liquid can gain this information and do something about it before Hiko finds himself in a lot of trouble. The nade's not gone the right way either.
It is Hiko though, and he is definitely the master of these situations. But can he do this? Oh no, Taco's going to take him down straight away. Got the pressure on Liquid now to somehow rotate in time, but they're going to, Luminosity going to have the site completely locked down. This is a really hard retake, to be honest. Simple's going to go close. Oh, he's going to miss the no-scope. And that means that now his team Liquid, they are completely shut out of that site. And look at the aggression. Luminosity, they want to clean up these weapons. Can Liquid survive here? Adren is able to defend against Taco, but it's still dangerous right now because FNX, he is on the hunt coming in from T-Spawn. He could definitely get a couple kills here. This is a very dangerous moment for Liquid. They must keep these 3 weapons alive, even though Nitro is on a 5-7.
See Cold Zero making sure nobody grabs the AWP either, which obviously would be very expensive.
Nice.
So Nitro, will he pick up a weapon? Indeed, he's going to get an AK. So it looks like Liquid will survive with 3 players, although Fur and Cold are very close. Oh, Dren just peeks at the very last moment. There goes one of their rifles.
And once again, Liquid going for a stack. 4 people play the A site that round, and stacking the site is to tell that Liquid is giving way too much respect to Luminosity right now. They just have to play more spread out in the beginning of the rounds. Otherwise, if they're unlucky, like happened this round, Luminosity would just go the other side. They just went on to B, where Hiko was all alone.
All right, well, this round, Liquid, they're just going to go for a very fast mid-push with all the players. And this is going to be pretty chaotic right now. Will Luminosity be able to deal with this? They're going straight for a fast short push, so this actually might work out for Luminosity. The frags start to come in now, the trades. But can Liquid get these frags? They really need to shut down FNX. He's low on HP. He's going to fall back. The flash is going to go up into the sky, but Simple will get the kill. 3 versus 3 now. But it is once again a retake situation. The bomb is going to be planted, but there's a lot of pressure and not much time, if any, to get post-plant positions here for Luminosity.
Taco's picked up the AWP. He's only got 1 HP, so he's going to be definitely better off with the one-shot cannon. Let's see, all the players coming in from short. We've got a CT boosted, that's Nitro. That's mostly disappearing. Simple with the running boost is not going to work out for him. Fallen taking down Hiko as well. So it's Nitro to try and save what he can. And again, we mentioned it yesterday that things that might work against a weaker team are probably not going to work against Luminosity. It's definitely going to be a harder task all round here for Liquid. So Luminosity are going to extend their lead to 5 rounds. Again, this was an eco for Liquid despite the weapons that they had in the hole. They've lost a few rounds in a row now, so we should see a buy coming up for the CT side, but it's not going to be a great one.
I really hope they will go for the mid control once again. The only round we saw them won was when they had 2 people in the window and Nitro pushed catwalk. So let's see if they try to go for a similar setup or if they try to go for the more, like, the super passive setup they had on B.
And right now we can see that Dren's actually got the opening hand. It would be nice to see him actually thread Simple, but he's got a spawn. Fast, he wants to get straight into a fast angle, and indeed he's going to look for the slope pick. He will be denied initially, and then back to connector. And Luminosity looking like they might want to go very quickly here, perhaps even through the smoke of the CTs into this A bomb site. But right now Liquid are pushing the out to 2 people, but it's not, that information's not going to come more quickly enough. Adren with the first frag. Nitro's in there as well. The AK, they're actually holding on here. Elise as well chiming in. 2 players left for Luminosity. Liquid with 4 still left standing. But we'll push the smoke, and he's going to find Adren, but somehow, some way, Adren makes it work. Quick flick with the AWP, and he's going to show once again. He's going to prove all those haters wrong, as he has done this entire tournament. Cold now is against 4 players as they surround him
from the back.
And he's got lots of time here, just waiting for that ticket, seeing if Liquid will make a mistake and push him prematurely. And he might just get that. Nitro, first man to pull now. 3 left, and Simple shoots him in the back. Liquid with an explosive defense there on the A side will go to 3 rounds.
And a very cool setup there from Liquid, having Nitro just going for the information play from the ticket booth. two guys towards connector going for that middle control, and wouldn't be surprised if they just try to go for a similar setup here.
Team Liquid have picked up a second AWP, which means the human cannon Simple is going to be unleashed. We'll see if he is able to go full FPL mode or if he is going to be dispatched of quickly. He is going into mid, he is going on to short, and he's looking into the gap.
Oh, nice.
NBA is here. Fallen has been sent into another dimension, and that is a very early frag for Liquid, but Taco is going to get sweet revenge for his team. Simple onto short now, super fast, but Luminosity are changing the approach and they're keeping Liquid guessing. We've seen fast B plays, we've seen Shock and Awe towards A, lots of fast mid plays at the beginning, and now things are slowing down on the T side.
Yeah, it's actually, I wonder if that's a read that Liquid have from watching demos, that Fallen sometimes goes for the really fast pick there when he has an AWP on slope, because it was a perfectly timed double HE and that was it. Fallen didn't even get to do anything, so of course the trade does come in. But a double AWP here for Liquid is certainly going to be a different beast for Luminosity to deal with.
Seems like there's going to be a B play with Cold holding rotations via short, because he's at the back of mid, but he's got no support whatsoever. The remaining three Luminosity players are heading towards Simple. Dan's warming his hands up because he's expecting some carnage here, but these are very sharp shooters on the Brazilian side. He's double scoped in, down goes Fur. There are two more coming his way. We've got pop flashes coming in. He's got Hiko in for support as well.
Hiko just waiting there. I mean, he may not even be needed. Simple is still on the angle. Hiko will spot one dropping in. Simple's actually coming close with the AWP, but Hiko turns around, grabs FNX, shuts him down. Now it's Taco up there, and Simple's got the angle. See you later, Taco. Just Cold now. Left standing for the Brazilian side. He's going to get shot in the back here. He's got no idea which way to look at this point. This round is going to be more or less impossible for Cold to save. I mean, Cold is a beast, but with 10 seconds left, he's just going to try to hope to save his weapon and not die after time. Liquid with a good defense. All started with Simple in the apps, and with no pop flash to get Simple onto that angle. Oh, looks like actually Cold will be challenged here, and Nitro's going to get the kill after time. That's a big win for Liquid.
Yeah, winning 2 rounds in a row, it means they are able to build up some kind of bank. I like the idea there from Luminosity going towards the B side, as if you're only 4 CDs remaining, you usually tend to have only one guy on the B side, but I don't think they expected Simple to have an AWP there.
I think that was a good round for Simple's confidence. You can see there he's feeling the pressure. The 2 AWPs continue here for Team Liquid. 3-round deficit now. 7 rounds on the T side. Looking pretty good for Luminosity so far, and Liquid will need to defend as much as possible. Going aggressive towards A slope are Liquid, playing around the smoke. Seems that perhaps we might see a flash coming in. Adren is going to take down FNX, and that's going to be a good boost for him. But we've got trades coming in from Cold Zero. 2 players in mid for Luminosity on this eco.
But here comes the challenge up slope from Palace. Luminosity going to be pushing the smoke, but Nitro's there. No entry for Luminosity into that A bomb site. But can they still find a way? They do have still presence towards connector and Taco. Of course, he hasn't really got much to work with, just a PT-50 there. There is a deagle in the hands of Cold towards the window area, and he may just have seen a pixel. It looks like he didn't see Hiko there, just missed him. He's going to go forwards, and Taco's found himself an AWP, a juicy AWP. But what can he get with this position? Cold having to spin around. Hiko will get the frag there, and it's looking very dark indeed in this round for Luminosity. Nitro sends Taco's body lifeless down the stairs. Fallen, only 1 frag, not enough. Liquid are really coming back into this one. 5 rounds for them. It's still a hard road, but they are making some inroads at the moment.
Yeah, look at their money now. 3 players with almost over 5k, so I wouldn't be surprised if Liquid actually will take the remaining rounds of the SAF now, winning 8-7.
The double AWPs continue, rescued once again.
Oh, James. Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is?
What is this? This is not Rambo Part 3. We're not in Nam, guys. To be honest, it is quite legit to play close A slope with a shotgun.
Here we go.
A negative.
Here we go.
Threat's quite proficient with an M249, so maybe you want to cross this round. Things are going to begin, but the push is coming. 2 frags. The negative is going to be shut down by FNX, but there are only 2 Ts remaining. The bomb's on the floor as well. 2 CTs remaining. Cold's in a tight spot though, because he's in somewhat of a crossfire. Hiko's coming in for the peak. Hiko's going to go down. It's down to Adren. the unexpected talentman of the team. Oh, missing the clip there. Fish and chips. He's not going to get the frag. Cold and FNX is going to get tagged, but the round continues.
Can't even blame the negative there because, hey, he still picked up 2 kills, to be honest. That's pretty respectable from this position. Suppressing fire!
Suppressing fire!
Yeah, the biggest problem here is that Liquid is actually out of money now. And Elish would have been able to drop they will actually buy, but he would have been able to drop an M4.
Question is, was that on purpose or not? But it was glorious for the short time it lasted. Both teams back on the buy. Obviously, Team Liquid going to be quite limited. Will this mean aggression? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Adren and Simple coming towards CPL there. Got Simple. He's going to get boosted actually. Interesting. Let's see what can be made of this. Adrenaline going to try and escape, and Simple is going to take down FNX elsewhere. Ruthless aggression coming in from the Ukrainian.
Oh, but looks like actually first trying to sneak into that Connect barrier. He's going to have a meeting here with Adren, but Adren takes him down. Elige defeating Taco, and now once again Luminosity finding themselves down a few men and with no ground to work with. It's going to be hard to save this one. Liquid looking very good to go to those 6 rounds, and of course after losing that last round, their money is awful, so they really needed this one.
The money sucks on both teams right now.
To be able to take the next round as well. So Liquid looking quite good for that 7-8, so long as they can shut down Cold and Fallen here. But Cold and Fallen, I mean, these guys know that Liquid, there's a lot of pressure, that this is the kind of stage where any kind of mistakes can happen. So we can see that Fallen is making the move now through the apps, and still Cold Zero is looking in mid. I mean, he could catch a rotation, as Liquid might feel a bit confident having 5 players to go for some info in mid, but no one just yet. Liquid playing very disciplined, sticking to the sites. I like this. Here's Fallen. He is, of course, very dangerous with this. Will he be able to guess right, though? It's going to be a guessing game for sure. 30 seconds left to play with.
Simple is just insurance at this point on the B side.
Here we go. They're going to make their way in. Cold has been spotted. Fallen knows that his position is still a surprise. And that's Cold Zero done. Fallen with the flick is not good. It's Hiko once again. 6 rounds for Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid looking great right now. The problem is Luminosity already have 8 rounds on the board. And I think that's more than enough for them going into the CD side. But if Liquid can keep this momentum going into the T side, win the pistol round, maybe force Luminosity into a bad economy, they have an opening back into this map.
It's the last round of the first half, and we see obviously the force flight coming out from Luminosity. They cannot muster a single rifle. 4 Tech 9s to 1 P250 onto FNX, and very limited nades as well. So perhaps we're going to see a fast play from the side with very limited resources. FNX moving through the smoke on short, so it looks like the B split is on. And look how deep the Liquid players are towards A. If there's a fast pick in favor of Luminosity, Liquid could be in a lot of trouble here, a lot of trouble indeed.
Yeah, the dynamic duo, Hiko and Simple. Oh, Hiko's going to get safe just initially, but he will eventually go down. Simple, number 2. Still more players charging into him, and he's only going to be good for 2, but Adren's going to be coming in there with the sniper as well. And it's a 3 versus 2 situation for Liquid as they try to go for the retake. Fallen has to go close to the Tech 9. Nade's going in. There's the turn. Fallen will drop Adren, trying to body the last players of Liquid, but it's a bit chaotic here on the bomb site, and they might not expect Elige to come into this position. This is so smart of Elige, waiting for Luminosity to make the move with the bomb first, and he hears the stepping. Elige was all over that play, and now Fallen's got a lot of work to do.
Nitro's in CC spawn, just waiting, but his teammate will tell him the beats have begun. Bombs down, and the flank is coming in. Fallen has absolutely no idea where Nitro could be. Oh, somehow he misses the shot. He must have moved before firing. Got to be careful about that molly as well. Elige comes in from the back in the last round of the first half. Will go to Liquid. 7-8 in favor of the Brazilians.
And a good comeback there from Liquid. If they only would have adapted quicker to the mid takes from Luminosity. They had a very weird opening, having those 2 guys stacked on the B side. Maybe they watched a demo and they saw some sort of tell from Luminosity, because otherwise that play doesn't make any sense at all.
Right, and as you're saying, it's quite cool to see Liquid came back into this one, because at the beginning it was... I mean, I think
they were 2-7 down.
Yeah, I mean, I think Thresh made this point before. Like, one of the toughest things is getting reset like they did at the start. Obviously, that's why they went down so much to begin with. It's a really hard position to deal with. But we can also see some pressure coming in at the end there. Fallen actually missing that first AWP shot. I don't think he normally would ever miss that shot, but you can see that the pressure is definitely mounting on these players.
Yeah, and if they win the pistol round, don't lose the force buy, they will be up 10-8 as T, which is decent. The problem is Luminosity has a great seat side. Fur and FNX, probably the best A players on Mirage in the world. FNX is just amazing at being aggressive A slope.
So we've got some work here from Simple with some wild plays. So what was your thoughts on this threat?
Yeah, let's see. Guess those 2 kills and I.
This is that first play.
FPL! Didn't work out on that occasion. But hey, from 2-7 they came back to make things 7-8. So definitely there's a lot of opportunity to be had for both sides, but Liquid will need some strong executes to defeat Luminosity Gaming, one of the most drilled teams in the game at present. Very strong individual players as well, so we'll see what they can do. And I think we saw the primary AWP going to Adren on the CT side, but one would have to imagine that Simple is going to be fully unleashed on the T side of the AWP.
Yeah, I mean, you guys played, MIP played against Luminosity on this map, and you had a bit of a hard time. So did you feel like you kind of did you figure it out against how to attack into Luminosity CT defense?
Well, it's quite easy to take middle against Luminosity. The problem is, when you're trying to rotate back T-spawn, it's so hard to trade versus FNX and Fur in that A slope. Even though you know they're going to be aggressive, either apps or the slope, they're just so on point with their positioning and their crossfires. So let's see if Liquid have a better answer than
I think this is going to be a contact B play or just a straight rush, because they have got all Kevlar on the Liquid side and absolutely no nades whatsoever. Straight rushing is susceptible to nades, but there are no nades for Luminosity either. They're going all the way in to the B bomb site and there's nobody there for Luminosity. They've got 3 people on short, but there are no threats for anyone yet. Despite the range, Fur's going to be the first man to go down, and Simple and his teammates can go and take post-plant positions. Fallen is going to go down as well. Nitro and Hiko are falling off. Is the bomb even planted yet? More frags coming in for the T side. Just down to FNX now. They should hear where he is. And there we go. Adren with 2 kills, 2 headshots. Liquid take the pistol and a great chance to take the lead in this match.
And that looked like a straight-out anti-strat from Team Liquid. They just rushed the B bomb site. And 3 players short there from Luminosity. I wouldn't be surprised if Liquid just did their homework there and they knew that Luminosity likes to do that play.
It's funny because it does look like otherwise a matchmaking strat. So, rush B! Non-stop. Hey, it works sometimes, even in professional level. We're going to see the 8-8, so here we go. The force play coming in from Luminosity. Fallen's on a scout, so that's of course always going to be dangerous. And we'll see that the Deagle and CZs out there. So Liquid, we need to see a very, very solid anti-force play from them. And there's only one Molotov in the hands of Adren, who is in the B-apps at the moment. So what is the plan here for Liquid as far as their anti-force goes?
Very risky here, taking mid only with 2 people, as Fallen could have easily been in the window there, tagging the first player. But luckily for them, they got mid control and they should be able to take this round from here, because now they can just go for a connector split.
Speaking of connector, you can see FNX and Fur have a huge crossfire going on. And we saw this smoke come in from, I think, CLG actually, on their previous match of Mirage. But no one is going up short on this occasion, which was a problem last time. Liquid are going to go all the way through the apps, but again, they've got 1 smoke and no flashes right now. And I think they might have been spotted by Taco here, so he is going to have a peek, but wait for his teammates to rotate, and indeed rotation is coming. Only 2 CTs on the site right now though, but Liquid are being so slow that FNX and Fur are making their way in. There's 40 seconds left, and it seems Liquid don't want to commit. They just give them the CT time to rotate into the bomb site. Dren's going to be the first one in and the first one to go down. Taco traded, FNX goes down as well, so it could go in Liquid's favour, but he needs to find more frags. He's running out of time to plant the bomb and clear the site at the same time. Got a Deagle and Fallen with the scout. Fallen is in the shop, and he's the last man standing. 1 versus 2 now. 1 versus 1. Higo's been headshot, and it's down to Elige. The bomb's not even planted yet. There are 15 seconds left on the clock, and the MP7's picked up. He's got a clutch it for his team. He is just about going to do that, but really, Liquid are playing with fire.
Very risky play there from Liquid, waiting so long after Taco spotted them in that B-apps. So there were almost 4 CTs on that actual site when they made the push. That is a viable play if you have Molotovs, because then you can actually Molotov the entire site, so you deny the stack, but they just waited in the windows there for, I think, at least 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was almost like they hesitated about rotating, but no map control, perhaps not enough time. That's a dangerous way of playing an anti-eco.
And the strange thing here is that they don't have any Molotovs, but at least they're going to go for a straight rush. And hey, you know, they're going to roll pretty well here because they've not stacked the wrong bomb site. Taco's going to go down easily, and now Team Liquid have kind of auto-won this round, and they shouldn't even take any damage here. But definitely, I mean, they could certainly have run into a stack here. They didn't take any information across the map. There were no Molotovs to try to preemptively clear positions into the site. That could have been a little bit scary.
Uh-oh. We've seen this before with Virtus Pro, but Cold is not going to be as successful as VP were many moons ago. No cheeky kill for Cold. Simple has gone down, but other than that, there's not much going on here for the CT side on their eco. But again, Liquid will need to have better anti-ecos, anti-force buys if they want to beat a team to the level of Luminosity, Dan. Otherwise, they'll have to go to an anti-eco 7-9 with CLG.
Two very different approaches to the anti-eco here for Liquid. The first round they waited until there were 20 seconds left on the clock, and this round they just went for the straight B rush. And going for the straight B rush can actually be effective when you do it with SMGs. It's extremely hard to hold that side. The only problem is you can just run into a B stack.
All right, so you can see Pico communicating with his team there, leading the troops. Liquid taking the lead actually in this match now after that very tumultuous start in the first half. But can they keep it going now? The buy is up for Luminosity. Luminosity down on some grenades, but perhaps they can be up on the shirts. Fur doing just Fur things here, trying to push the Palace. They should expect this. This guy is so aggressive. And as Threat said, you know they're going to be doing this, but it still can be so difficult to stop anyway. The players are so damn good. But Liquid actually abandoning the slope and Palace side of the map, opting to go towards B once again. And B is going to be where Taco is defending. An M4 but no grenades. Could be tough here for Taco to hold this. He's got no support as well. If Liquid go for this, which it looks like they're about to, Taco's going to have to be more than a man to defend this one.
Oh, he's going to jump, but the whack-a-mole is not going to happen on this occasion. So Liquid go charging in with Pico holding a flank. It's Taco alone. Cold is in the ladder room, coming in from short now. Is he going to get there fast enough? We've got Taco just trying to wait time for his teammates to come in, but he's going to go down. Cold goes down as well. Is this going to be a safe situation already for Luminosity? Hiko moving to top mid now with Fur in Palace. FNX moving away from the site indeed. The CTs are going to go for the save. Will Liquid go for the hunt? FNX and Hiko going to have a meeting of the mind, it seems, towards T-spawn, and now Liquid, knowing where the CTs might be saving, could go on the charge. And it seems that Luminosity aren't interested in giving Simple early frags in mid, as Fallen had the AWP, but he went over towards A with 3 players, looking into T-slope, and then putting Cold in ladder room to make sure there's no boost shenanigan going on. Seems to be the way Luminosity want to play.
Great decision making there from Liquid once again. They knew that they had spent a lot of money on that second round force buy, which means they don't have a lot of utility to work with this round. And you need utility on that B side to delay the push for the rotation to come in. I don't think Taco had a single nade that round. So he just went to the back of the B site and there was nothing he could do.
It's pretty depressing to be in his position there. It's like, well, guess that's lost that round. That round's over then. Look at this, Simple hyping up the crowd.
Simple is loving it. He needs to be supercharged by these voices. Got the fans on their feet now. So we've got a CT timeout at the moment. Luminosity 3 rounds behind the T side now. This is not where they wanted or expected to be. And they do indeed have decisions to make here, as they have managed to save 3 guns. Taco's bought full armor, including a helmet, which might not be the best idea considering the limited money, but it seems Luminosity going to buy around the rifles they have saved.
And the frustrating thing for Luminosity now is that Liquid show them, okay, we can just go for the straight B push, which means that Coldzera, who has the guy that plays aggressive short, he will always have it in the back of his mind that he has to stand close towards B, which means he can't gain that map control you can gain from the vent room. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Coldzera decides to continue to commit towards middle, or if he's actually going to try to help Taco this time.
There we go. Some support for Luminosity in the crowd as well. Oh, what is this?
Fur is a man who is willing to play with almost any gun in the game at close quarters. He's picked up an MP9. Oh man,
That is when the pan,
You know what?
zoom out there.
That's like when you're trying to go through double doors and dust 2 and you get blocked by someone. I respect the willingness to leave the house with kittens on your top, mate. All right, so the countdown is about to end from this timeout. We'll see what Luminosity have in plan. They have a few more nades than they had in previous rounds. FNX has no nades whatsoever, so we'll see what they choose to do. Liquid seem to be just playing a numbers game, moving into sites where Luminosity will be ill-equipped to deal with the aggression. All right, so AWP onto both sides. Simple is going to be AWPing for his team again. Last time he went towards mid. This time he has a good spawn for A actually, and he could be going for a fast pick if someone's trying to get to connector quickly, but he's going to get pop flashed immediately. Fur coming in to play close again with that oh so glorious MP9. How far will he go though? Simple has backed up a bit, and he's just waiting for the CTs to serve themselves, looking for that cheap steak.
And Liquid is ready for Luminosity. Having an AWP holding aggression from A slope, it means they really know that Fur and FNX like to play that position aggressively.
Yeah, but it will be Liquid actually just taking the bomb towards the B amps at the moment. It is Fallen with the AWP in that position, so Fallen could be in a spot to shut down Liquid in this round. We'll have to see how that goes. The damage that he does or does not do is going to be so important going into this. The first line of defense, and here they come. The Liquid Massive is readying themselves.
The Mandem, Dan.
The Mandem are coming, but is Fallen going to be able to drop them? Here goes the first one. He's going to miss the first shot. I don't think he can afford to do that. They're charging onto the bomb site now. Fallen's in so much trouble. There's one shot from Fallen, taking down Nitro. He's still alive, still on the site. Adren is going to miss the shot as well. Fallen, how is he still in this bomb site? He's buying such key time here for Luminosity to make the rotation. Elise is going to win the battle against Taco, and Liquid slowly but surely overwhelming the site, but Fallen's still alive. Where the hell did FNX come from? Elise is going to hit the ground now. It's Hiko, trays back onto FNX. Absolute madness in the trays, all down to Hiko. 1 versus 2. Fallen gets it done. Unbelievable defense from the man himself. It's Fallen.
Perfect play by Fallen right there. Not only did he get, was it 4 kills? At least 3. He delayed them so much. He waited for the rotation. I think there were 3 guys on that B site when they actually went down there with the bomb. So Fallen just won that round by himself.
Let's see what the money looks like on the CT side once everyone leaves spawn. It's not very good at all. Liquid have won 4 rounds from 5 in the second half here. If they are able to take Luminosity down, then perhaps that could be a game-winning round for them. We'll see how it goes. Simple, obviously, with his signature aggression. And again, Luminosity choosing to abandon mid, but the problem is they're putting 3 people towards A, and if Liquid choose to keep abusing the B bomb site, then Luminosity may find themselves too late to adjust, as their money again is not in the right place. And look where the bomb is here. The bomb's been left in B apps, and there's nobody there for Liquid. 4 people opting to stand in the middle area for the time being and try and weaken the defenses. So I think it's quite clear where their ultimate decisions are.
Yeah, it does seem as though, you know, there's a lot of information gathered by Liquid here. They can definitely play the game of deduction, work out where the defense is, but here's the first pop flash in there. That didn't hit, but Alicio takes the frag onto Taco. Now Cole is going to have his attention towards that short area, but where are Liquid going to go? They can still go anywhere as far as Luminosity are concerned. Cole has everything to do by himself. This onslaught is going to be so overwhelming right now. Simple gets the tag onto Cole. Oh my goodness, Cole is dead. There's nothing he could do there. Alicio is going to push on forwards, and Liquid overrun that B bomb site. There's nothing Luminosity can do in this position. They've just got to sit back and hope that Liquid allow them to keep their weapons at this point.
And all the gambles in this game. Luminosity went for a 3-man stack on that A side. Fallen playing the ticket position for an FNX playing aggressive, leaving Cold or Taco completely alone in that vent room. They really respect the A push there, because otherwise I don't think they would have had 3 people towards that A site.
Liquid doing some masterful plays here. Both teams are trying to hard counter each other, and it's not really working out for Luminosity. They're trying to avoid Simple as much as possible. They're giving up mid, but again, they're just putting the men in the wrong place, putting 3 towards the A site here. But the retakes on B, once their defense have gone down there, it's pretty much the round over, as we're seeing, all hiding in Palace. If they lose A, then perhaps they can try and go for the retake here, but again, they need to make adjustments. But the problem is, if they do make an adjustment and put an extra person towards B, perhaps Liquid start mixing things up and going towards A. It's a very difficult time here for Luminosity.
Yeah, what Luminosity should do now is just let Fallen play that ticket position on A, play the retakes on A, and have 3 rifles playing middle aggressively from short window and connector, because you have fast rotations from mid, and Fallen is a great opera from the ticket position, so that would be the optimal setup for them right now.
I can see Fallen is not going towards ticket, he's in fact going towards the B bomb side, the BS perhaps again. And now we'll have Liquid. There's a couple players towards slope. We haven't seen a heavy challenge there, but Simple is going to take down Fur. But usually the king of that Palace position will find himself meeting his demise at the hands of none other than Simple, as Simple's teammates now start to clamber their way up the slope into the A bomb site. And the oppressive force has found its way into that A site in the name of Liquid. And Simple again, he gets another entry frag. What the hell are Luminosity going to do? Once again, Liquid completely crush a bomb site, and all the momentum is swinging their way.
This is exactly what I said. What if Luminosity adjusts and then Liquid mix it up? And that's what's happening. This is horrible. Some consolation frags at this point for Luminosity, but really their money is in tatters. Liquid money is not fantastic either, but the rounds are going their way. I'm sure they'll be able to pick up that AWP from Simple as well and unleash him in yet more rounds. So Liquid looking really good for the first game here.
Trying to hunt some of these players down as well. Fallen must keep that AWP alive if Luminosity want to have a chance in the future rounds at the moment. He's got so much value with the incendiary on him as well. Full grenades, kit, everything. And there is the first player. I think Nitro may have spotted him. Oh, what a shot there from Fallen. Good stuff to keep himself alive in this. But this is kind of crazy. Liquid are 3 rounds away from taking map 1. If Liquid take this series, we're going to see a North American team.
And if they win this map, the second map is Cash.
Yeah.
A map that Luminosity lost versus Virtus Pro on earlier today, so they might be looking to go into 2-0 then.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Potentially at the first North American major. I mean, we don't ever see North American teams even in the playoffs. They could be in the grand finals. Well, let's not call it too early right now. But Liquid definitely looking quite strong at the moment. Luminosity struggling a little bit. Let's see if they can adjust in this round.
Force buy from Luminosity. FAMAS is all over the shop. They've got a reasonable amount of nades, but again, they're just giving up mid. Just giving it for free to the T's. And you can see Simple just jumping around, having a look. But there's nobody to engage him here. He's going to have to search deeper to try and find some people to rip in half. Cold Zero is playing around the smoke on shore. Other than that, not much going on here for Luminosity other than Taco being isolated once again. It's a lonely cold world over there towards the B bomb site. We've got Trend being boosted as well, so they're trying to find some sneaky angles, but again, it seems that their target is weakening the B bomb site.
Look at this presence here from Liquid in middle. It's very oppressive, to be honest. And Luminosity are definitely feeling a bit of a peak there from Taco, but that's the last peak he's going to get to make in this round. Sent straight to the bench by Simple. Just 4 men left standing now for the Brazilian team. They start 3 towards A. Oh, what is this? That is some solid snake stuff there from MLG, taking down Cold in the window. And once again, Liquid just going to stroll into the B bomb site.
They're on segways, Dan. Luminosity.
This is how many times have we seen this where they just get the bomb site and Luminosity is so far away that they can't even attempt to retake.
And there's no chemistry for Luminosity in middle. They just, like, one guy was hidden in window, another guy just took a peek by himself. There's no.
They're playing scared.
Yeah, exactly. They don't talk with each other. They should go like, okay, let's pop flash on 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's push middle together. Instead, they're just taking aim deals 1 by 1 versus Simple, which is on point right now.
Yeah, they're basically playing afraid of Simple. Like, yeah, let's not challenge him because he's good. And, well, he's extremely good, so let's just not challenge him, just give up the middle of the map. It's not working for them.
Yeah.
And now they're running out of money and rounds in order to make an adjustment here. The most any of their team has is Taco with $400.
Yeah, if your game plan is taking aim duels against Simple, I think you need to go back to the drawing board. That's not going to happen. Oh, there you go. At least he's going to take down Fallen. That is a really big loss. The AWP, once again, has been denied, and Luminosity don't have any money. They need an eco. The eco Liquid go to 15 rounds. They'll be on map point. on the first map here in this semi-final. This is completely unthinkable. What is unfolding here in front of our eyes? Who would have predicted any of this?
The thing is, because of the way the CTs, well, Luminosity are playing right now, if they are shut out of this map and we go to map 2, you have to wonder what their mental frame of mind will be after getting such a beatdown, basically. Playing scared and just getting whipped in the corner of the prison yard.
Oh my god. What a picture there you paint for us, James. All right, well, no Kevlar apart from FNX, who was able to save in the previous round. Luminosity need a miracle round here. They really desperately need to find a way to win this one, to be honest. They don't want to let Liquid get to that map point, of course. Simple going to try and get his pick shenanigans going on towards the B apartments, but it won't pan out for him this time.
3 Molotovs, that's a plus.
Yeah, that is true.
Get a golden star for
but
that.
will they use them, James?
That is another question there.
That's the second part.
And this is awesome play from Liquid. They showed themselves in middle. They know that Luminosity is really scared right now, so Luminosity still thinks that there might be a lot of people in mid. But look at this, 4 people going towards that A side. This is perfect play here from Liquid.
Who's going to stop this? There's only... There's no one there. They're evacuating the bomb site. The bomb site's been evacuated.
What's that song you like to sing, Dan? Run for the hills, run for your life.
Yeah, bit of Iron Maiden in here. I mean, if we're talking about fear, I don't know what's going on here. It's as if they knew they were coming. They could feel the stampede.
Yeah, and they have a FAMAS, they have C-sets.
I mean,
you can kind of spread out still. You don't have to go for a full man at 5.
And they don't have any grenades to do that. It feels as though they maybe even had a misread, that they felt like it was going to be B or something. It's a very strange scenes to be looking at the moment from the side of Luminosity.
This is not the Luminosity who won the hearts of fans over the recent weeks and months. This is a ghost.
I mean, what we saw on the A-bomb site there was like Luminosity hit the button for DEFCON 5 and they're like, let's get out of here, guys. Straight to the chopper, straight to that B-bomb site.
And how do you come back from this? Luminosity, they do have... Oh, look at this. Double AWP.
Double AWP, fallen and cold. They need the big guns to come out. Big pressure on the big players of Luminosity. But can they deliver the big result that they need to stay here?
Double AWPs, no armor on the CT side. Fallen and Cold Zero in their birthday suits. They are going to need to do something big here. But again, they don't seem to really be changing their strategy. There's one man alone on the B-bomb site. We've got Taco playing shorts, actually. And let's see, it is Cold holding an angle towards B. But he's going to need to be immaculate with that. He is one of the nastiest fraggers in the game. For the time being, Liquid just waiting for some desperation to come out from Luminosity, waiting for them to make a mistake. We've got Nitro and a teammate in the underpass at the moment, and got the pop flashes coming in so that, to allow them to take control of Connector, where FNX is trying to make a stand. Nitro down to 2 HP now, and he's going to scurry away. Again, we've got Taco just holding a short angle, so it's still Liquid's round to impose on Luminosity. The team now going back to Old Faithful, and Cold might be in trouble.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on him. He's got to hit these shots. We saw Fallen in this spot before, the same spot, but with much more utility to work with. Here he comes once again. The first base is a Dren. He's going to hit the ground there. It's Cold. Oh, what? Jumping double for Cold. What is going on right now? How does he do this? Cold has saved Luminosity with the AWP play. Unthinkable scenes there on the B apartments. They needed a huge play, but that was something I'm never going to see ever again. Ridiculous stuff.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And it was a no-scope as well, right?
Yeah. I have no words to describe. Oh my. Holy. Okay. Well,
who is this guy?
They've closed the gap. The gap is reasonable now. They've even been able to buy Kevlar, Dan. It's like it's Christmas for Luminosity at the moment, and that might be the boost that they needed, the boost in confidence that they needed. They've put a smoke down in B and put more people towards mid at the moment, so it looks like they're going to try and make an aggressive adjustment now. Simple is looking to eat people alive with this AWP. We'll see who gets the first frag. We've got 4 people in mid for Liquid now. They're going to have the boost looking over towards short, but coldzera's holding a superior angle at the moment. We've got jump peaks coming in, but nobody's going to get connected with.
Still recovering from that. That's probably one of the highlights of the year. With that kind of play, that's ridiculous. But Fallen here. Oh, there's a shot. The quick flick from Connector onto Elige. And now, Liquid, they spent a lot of time, a lot of grenades in trying to get some work done in middle, but they have come up short now. It's Luminosity instead that have made that pick. Liquid really needs Simple to deliver now, because some of these peaks are going to be dry. They don't have any utility to work with. And now it's going to be that play towards the A-bomb site. And this is what Luminosity are good at stopping. They've got 2 players close.
Problem is they don't have a control of connector where Nitro is standing, so Fallen could easily get picked off, leaving his remaining players pincered underneath the palace area. He's moving towards connector now. That's a very important rotation, and it seems that Luminosity's read might pay off on this occasion. coldzera can quickly get to short. Sacco is in a good position as well, and here come the frags from the CT side. 3 men down for Liquid, 4 men down for Liquid. Another round where Luminosity haven't lost a single player, and the money is wrecked for Liquid. Luminosity down, but not out. They've been, this could be a Rocky story, getting wrecked in the corner, but now they've got all the money on their side. They've still got double orbs and all the nades and the fuse kits.
And perfect decision making there by Cold. He knew that there's no way in hell that they're going to go for that B side this round, so he just, okay, I can stand close to middle, I can hold B from Ventrum, which was what he did, and they had just had a perfect stack towards that A side.
Well, Liquid are going back to Old Faithful themselves. They don't have much of anything going on at the moment. Only 2 players with any armor. Sacco's going to get flashed though, and he's playing close with an AK. If he drops his fist to the other team, then it could get nasty. 1 man down, 2 men down. They're getting sprayed down. The garden hose is coming out. Only Simple remains. Bomb down as well. 3 rounds. Luminosity don't lose a single player. We're going to have 4 buys until they lose one, if they lose one.
Really nice of Cold there, actually. There was a lot of trouble right there for Taco, despite getting 3 kills. His recall got out of control really fast. I mean, if those 2 kills don't come in from Cold, we might see a bomb plant there, actually.
Yeah, and that would have made a big difference, because it's going to be a very weak buy here for Liquid. Only 4k on the player, so they probably went for AK armor, and look at this. They have a few smokes and a few flashes, but not enough utility to take middle, which means, yeah, they're just going to go for the straight.
Well, Fur is not having any of it. Standard aggression coming out from him. He's looking to play close palace as well, but with 3 people on the A site, Luminosity should have a good hold here, but Liquid just holding steadfast for the moment. Simple's coming in from the underpass. Perhaps he can try and get somebody by surprise, and that could be the opening that Liquid need to take game 1 over the line. They still have 3 points. Fur's going to win the duel though. Now, what is the reaction from Liquid? They're still holding still. They have 1 smoke and 1 flash, and that's about it.
They were banking on Simple finding a way to make an individual play to get into connector. Now they have to just force the issue. This is not going to be something that they're going to be very happy to do, and you can see why there's no distraction for these CTs. Fallen is just taking pot shots. It's both Nitro and Nico are down now, and it's just on a drain. Oh, nice little tap there, but it is small consolation in the face of such a dominant round from the opposition in Luminosity. Luminosity, I cannot believe the way that they're coming back into this match.
And Liquid will be forced to Nico now, which means there's only 1 round now between them and Luminosity.
Liquid won 8 of 9 rounds in a row on the second half, and they have called for the tactical timeout, so both sides feeling the pressure here, but perhaps this is also just to put a break in the momentum of the Brazilian side and make them cool down a little bit, because they are running pretty hot at the moment. Still the double ops continue here onto Fallen and coldzera. They have all the utility in the world. On the Liquid side, they have an average of $3,000 per person. They're going to be at max loss bonus following this round though, but again, the opportunities starting to run thin for Liquid.
And one thing that surprises me there, that maybe, you know, like 2 players don't go for Galils, because everyone had AKs, right? And they had like 4 grenades between them, 2 smokes and 2 flashes. Get a couple Galils, you can have more utility. Instead of just going for the raw angels against players like Fur, you know, going into that A site, the Fur is ridiculous.
Usually you want one guy to, as you said, to go for the Galil or Tech 9 to have a lot of nades, so he can go middle, block their vision, and kind of say to the CTs, okay, we can be in middle. If you don't buy any nades at all, Luminosity will just know, okay, there's no one in the middle, we can just stack A, which is exactly what happened.
All right, so how do you think? What would you like to see Liquid do? You know, you've seen the the first 28 rounds. Where do you think Liquid can take this over the line? When they have their buy, of course.
I think they should try to do something more funky now. Maybe go for a fast B split. Maybe try to go for fast vent room control. And then maybe rotate back and go for an A split, because it seems like they're getting mid control. They're just not utilizing it in the right way. So let's see if they're going to go for the eco now, of course. They will be able to go for a half buy. Usually tend to go for P250s, a few nades, and go for a B or A execute. So probably not going to take middle this round.
All right, it's time to get back into the match. And crowd, you need to make Valve are in attendance here, so make some noise and tell them why we need a North American major every single year. All right. 2 rounds for Liquid to take the first game. Otherwise, we are headed into overtime. We've got Deagles, we've got flashbangs on the Liquid side. We know what Simple can do with the Deagle here and there. And he is, well, there were some shenanigans attempted in mid, but he's just going to be running around. So Simple's in full FPL mode, it seems. He's going to take the peek and find out that there's an AWP on short.
I think they went for that run boost peak that they do so often. Also on Cash as well. You might see that in the next map, but yeah, Simple is pretty ridiculous with that Deagle, but it looks like Elise will go down initially, and they're having to do this with almost no nades, just a couple of flashbangs left. Simple's actually got armor with that Deagle, and it's not a good story here for Liquid so far. They haven't got any damage done. Luminosity holding onto these positions fairly well. Deagle comes out from Simple, but he's not quite fast enough on the draw, and that's going to be now just Hiko and Nitro left to get some frags in here, get the pressure on Luminosity, but definitely not much in the way of expectations for them here at this point of the round.
Yeah, and it's not even about the monetary impact at the moment, because Luminosity had 2 players with more than $10,000.
Yeah.
So here we go. Liquid have 1 round to take this in normal time. Let your voices be heard, guys. AWP on the Liquid side, so Simple's shenanigans will be reduced, but he is one of the best AK players in North America as well. 3 men coming top mid for Liquid, but what is this from Luminosity? I sense some aggression, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about funky stuff. We might be seeing that from Luminosity here. Liquid are going short as well, so Luminosity might be making the right play if they can hit the shots. There are the aggressive nades, and again, fast control here, and Cold's going to hit the first shot. Nitro's down. Oh, this is looking quite good for Luminosity, but there's a trade coming in from Elige. Oh, and Simple's down as well. This is looking terrible right now for Liquid. Luminosity, they will bring this all the way back to overtime. It started with the most unbelievable AWP display I have seen this year from Cold. Can Liquid still survive it? Can they still actually bring this to a victory?
That is a pretty solid wipeout in the last round of normal time. Luminosity started like they were asleep, but they've definitely woken up now.
All the momentum is with Luminosity right now. It's huge.
Yeah, did they even lose more than 2 people in those last 6 rounds?
I don't think so. It's such a crazy turn, considering we saw so many times Luminosity running, to the other bomb site, just giving up bomb sites as if they were just in pure fear of Liquid as they strolled in, and then to come into such a strong performance. I have no idea what's going to happen in this overtime.
Well, both teams have 60 seconds to figure out what they want to do, what they can expect from their other side. So it's going to be MR3, 10K, which means 3 rounds per half. Every player starts with $10,000. We saw Luminosity were afforded 2 AWPs in probably the last 4 or 5 rounds there. If they choose to do such a thing in this first round and they lose, then they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Perhaps, I think we're more likely to expect 1 AWP, and perhaps if they can win the round and have an opportunity to pick one up from Simple, they will do that.
And it's so difficult to play versus Luminosity when they're in this mode, because they're just changing between being 3 people mid or 2 guys aggressive A. So it's really hard for Liquid, because if they try to go for the mid play, they might have 3 people there. If they try to go for a simple A execute right away, maybe Fer and FNX will play aggressive towards the slope. So maybe they should try to gather some intel first towards A, see, okay, is Fer and FNX, if they're here, or are they just relying on Fall and playing the ticket booth with AWP?
I feel like the adjustment Luminosity made was respect. They respected Luminosity too much, and now they've taken that respect away. And here we find ourselves 15 to 15. An AWP onto Simple, an AWP onto Cold. Luminosity have decided to go double AWP. Fallen, Cold Zero, both left with about 3k in the bank. If this doesn't go well for them, it should be a strong half for Liquid.
Absolutely, we'll be kicking things off here, and Fur actually going straight down to short. So usually we'll be seeing Colt there, but now Colt is actually back in the B apps with the AWP, and he's got a fine angle, a very fine angle indeed. And Taco's with him too. So any thoughts on this setup here, Threat?
Two guys very deep towards B. Yeah, probably expecting that B push, so might be a good call here for Liquid.
Cold Zero is susceptible to being traded with the position he's holding, but he has Taco in for support, so it seems Luminosity have planned for that well. But again, this is another situation where they're playing a long rotation game. Liquid just waiting and waiting and waiting. Again, everybody has all the utility now, and speaking of utility, it's starting to come out towards the A site, but are they committed here? Seems perhaps they are waiting for a reaction. They're going to leave two lurkers, and I don't know, Adren's got the bomb. He's moving away from the A site, and now he seems to be coming back. So I don't know if this is uncertainty or if they're trying to give sound cues if somebody's mid, but here we go. It seems they're going to be committed to the A bomb site here. There are 3 CTs. Again, the 2 players towards B are in very deep, but the re-smokes are going to perhaps thwart the plans of Liquid. And here comes the second execute. 3 men up the T-slope. Fallen's going to get the first frag. Looking from the box. FNX with a 2-man. So there's only 1 player left. Nitro gets 1 frag, but he's down to 12 HP. He's got a lot of work to do here. The rotation's coming in as well. Time is off the SMT needs headshots. He's not going to find them.
And that was a very odd round by Liquid. They used all their utility, and then they just waited. And they didn't try to go for a double fake because they didn't have a single player in B apps. I don't know, maybe they have some weird read from some demo, but because otherwise I have no idea what they tried to do there.
Adren was like the first man rotating away from A, and he had the bomb, so I don't know what the plan was there, maybe a miscommunication, but here we go. The first round goes to Luminosity, and that's an important round again with their investment of double AWPs. That is a huge win, only losing 1 player.
So now once again, just a slow round, slow mid-take coming in from Liquid. They have, of course, left the bomb by Slope. So they have players all over the place. This actually does look like a typical setup to try to get the A attack going, the triple pronged attack. They could try to secure a man into connector and then rotate back through T-spawn and hit the A bomb site hard. We'll have to see what their success will be and if they'll be able to get any entries along the way. Luminosity are playing pretty close to connector, and there's a flash through, but oh, the flash, it's a team flash, and that's going to be the frag onto FNX. Cold, very important kill there, coming in from short as the push is now on the site for them. He has to hit these shots. There's the first one, but there's still more players. It's going to be Simple trying to get the bomb plant here, but he's aware that he hasn't got much in the way of cover. The smoke is going to have to do for now, and there is the frag from Cold once again, coming in onto Lige. Simple and Hiko, dynamic duo, have to get this done. Simple retreating back to Tetris. Hiko not in a good position there in the corner of the bomb site. Simple must be on point, looking for the first shot. There's the flick, he's going to miss this time, and these Luminosity players are getting really close now. Hiko getting spray in the back of Taco. Still more players coming, he's not got much in the way of bullets left. And there's the frag from Fur. Liquid will lose this round to a defuse.
And I think you're completely right, James. It seems like Liquid is just respecting Luminosity way too much right now, and they're not hitting their shots. Simple had at least 3 shots that I think he would have hit earlier in this match.
Also, Nitro just ran into CTA with no flash from a teammate. He had 2, maybe 3 teammates on the site. No one flashes for him. He just runs into the crosshair and gets absolutely wrecked for it. So now Luminosity, after one of the worst starts I've seen at a major, have a 2-round lead, and Liquid might go 0-3 if they don't get their heads back into the game. Funnily enough, look at the economy. They've only got 3 rifles, and it seems it might be a fast B play again. Limited utility here. They might want to go in as fast as possible. Taco coming in for support with the right-click flash, which could cause huge problems for Liquid, even if Cold goes down here.
This is a really sick setup, actually. I mean, they're going to be really distracted by Cold. Cold can fall away, and there's still a player hiding here with a pop flash in hand, so I'm really afraid here. But actually, they're going to go forwards and go aggressive here. sending in the incendiaries. Looks like they're feeling the push coming, although there's no rotation. That nade shouldn't hit anything, I don't think, and it feels as if only, you know, obviously we have all the information, but if only they'd waited, then it looks like they're going to get the push anyway. In come all the players. Taco, oh no, he's going to go down straight away. Team Frag coming in. Cold is in an awful position with this. Oh no! Misses a no-scope, but finally gets it. They didn't know he was there. They still are scrambling on the bomb site. Elige will finally take him down. 2 versus 2. Make that a 1 versus 2. Hiko, everything on his shoulders. Gets the 1-on-1. That's fallen down. Now the 1-on-1 against FNX. Hiko scanning around. He doesn't know where he is just yet. He could be absolutely anywhere. There's the spot. Still plenty of time for Hiko to play with. March of this team, and it's going to be FNX. 3 rounds there in the first half of the overtime for Luminosity. Liquid have a hell of a job getting back into this one.
Luminosity just have the perfect read right now. Look at this. Simple, probably on tilt mode right now, and not a good sign there for Liquid. And as I said, Luminosity, they just stacked the right sites every single time. They knew that there was no way Liquid was going to go for that AA site, as they lost the 2 previous rounds trying to go for an A execute. So Luminosity said, okay, we're just going to have an op, taking a deep peek towards B, Taco playing aggressive there in the window. And yeah, they just, I mean, I was surprised it even got to a 1v1 in the end.
3 map points for Luminosity. What a turnaround this is. And you can see that mentally Liquid are not in the greatest of places right now. If ever they needed Dave, the human loudspeaker, they need you now, Dave. You better get up and make some noise for Liquid. It's 1 minute for these teams to think about what they want to do here. You can see Liquid having a chat, but again, now the onus is on Luminosity. They're going to be on the T side. They're going to be able to dictate the pace. If Liquid try to do something aggressive, there's going to be a risk, which perhaps they can't afford. If they lose 1 round, that's the game.
Luminosity is probably expecting a double up setup here from Liquid, so let's see how they will try to punish that. Usually you just want to try to go for an A execute with a wall of smokes. So, or either you can actually go mid as long as you just keep smoking everything. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if Luminosity just goes for a simple A execute here, because Liquid is going to go for the double sniper. Otherwise, I'm very surprised.
It's actually less risky for Liquid to go for a double AWP than it was for Luminosity, because Liquid now are in a situation where if they lose 1 round, then they're done. So you might as well go all in, basically.
Yeah, they might even buy an order sniper.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we've seen it be so effective from the ticket booth position. If there's an A hit, it's usually incredibly good. Hey, we saw Get Right with some, I mean, it's a different map, but showing the power of the auto sniper earlier in the tournament. With an ace, actually, I think it was.
No negative.
I'm a bit sad.
Well, here we go. Nitro and the Liege going to avoid the helmets, as they know that the AKs are coming. No AWP onto the Luminosity side. Perhaps looking for a play which requires the whole team to be as dynamic as possible. So we'll see what they have in store. As you can see, the bomb is over towards T-slope. 3 Liquid players towards A. Again, you've got Nitro and the Liege playing close to that smoke. Very aggressive indeed, just as you might see from Fur & Co. Seems that it's going to be a straight-up split from Luminosity. They have control of mid. At the moment, we've got a Dren. He's going to be looking towards Connector and towards Palace, but he's just about to get smoked off from Connector. There's nobody on short for Liquid at the moment, so Luminosity will move into Connector for free.
If Taco actually died there, that was the push came to slope there. Taco has the bomb. Now Adren's really key here, because right now they're splitting all onto these 2 players who are pushed close to the slope. Liquid are going to have a lot of trouble here. There's 3 frags in a row there for Luminosity. What are Liquid going to do? It's just Hiko and Simple on the rotation. There's Simple, the first frag. Hiko gets 1 as well. 2 versus 3 now. The bomb still needs to be planted, so a lot of time to try to engineer this retake. But Simple is dead, and that leaves everything to Hiko again. He is the man you want in this position, but 1 versus 3. This is for everything. This is for the map right now. Hiko making his way around the smoke with his family. He will spot Taco, but that's it. Luminosity with a comeback from 15-10. An amazing play from Cold with the AWP all the way back into overtime, into a victory.
10 rounds in a row for Luminosity. 15